Welcome to the Character Factory, where we take fictional characters and build them in Pathfinder 1E. Today we're building a Pokemon trainer, meaning you'll be able to battle with a variety of wildlife and other fantastical creatures. Fortunately, a trainer's skill set is very simple. Be the very best like no one ever was, and catch them all. We may not be able to catch them all, but we'll be catching so goddamn many you won't know what to do with them all. Using 20-point buy for the build, strength is 7. A large number of Pokemon trainers are children, and children are not very strong. Dexterity is 12, as you fairly often have to throw things and also dodge out of the ways of fireballs and blizzards. Constitution is also 12. I can't really tell how much of a beating you can take in most games since you don't get hit, but considering you're still a child, it can't be too high. Intelligence and Wisdom are both 14. You gotta be smart to get through the Pokemon League effectively, and wise to truly understand the Pokemon you're working with. Finally, Charisma is 16. Very few people have an issue with you walking into their house, and even sometimes give you things when you talk to them in their living room. Clearly, you have the face of an angel. Pokemon trainers are human, because if you weren't human, you'd be a Pokemon, which you're not. But that's good, because human gives us things we need, like a +2 to any ability score of our choosing, which we'll put to a Charisma, because again, face of an angel. Humans are also skilled, giving you an additional skill rank each level. Finally, we'll get a bonus feat, which will make Spell-Focused Conjuration, which increases the DC of conjuration spells you cast by 1, but it's also a prerequisite to a number of other fun feats we'll get later. The traits we need are Beast Bond and Courageous. Beast Bond gives you a +1 to ride and handle animal checks, since you often work with Pokemon and sometimes ride them. And Courageous gives a +2 to saving throws against fear. Considering it seems a rite of passage that Pokemon trainers take down criminal organizations and capture a literal god, I'd say you're pretty good at fear saves. The skills you want are Handle Animal, Perception, and Ride. Handle Animal and Ride, again, because you work with Pokemon basically all the time and ride some of them to get around. And Perception is because you're good at finding items littered around in caves and tall grass. Level 1, we're going to kick it off with Summoner, which first gives you what's called an Eidolon. Eidolon are otherworldly beings you have a permanent bond with. You summon an Eidolon from another plane, and they remain in as long as you're conscious or otherwise reduced to 0 HP, at which point they return to their home plane. Their appearance and abilities are dependent on your choices and evolution points, but we'll get into that in a bit, and instead talk about Lifelink. Whenever your Eidolon is reduced to 0 HP and is about to be sent back to its home plane, you can sacrifice any number of your own HP. Each point prevents a point of damage your Eidolon took. That means whenever your Pokemon toughed it out so you wouldn't be sad, it's really just you siphoning your own life essence of them. Fun! Summoners also get Summon Monster 1. This is a spell-like ability you can use a number of times per day equal to 3 plus your Charisma modifier, and functions exactly like the spell of the same name, except that you can use it as a standard action, and the duration is a minute per level. However, you can only use this when your Eidolon is not summoned, since the ability draws on the same magic. Lead with your starter, then bring the rest of the team out. You also get spells! Starting with 0 level spells, take Detect Magic. Again, you're good at finding a lot of weird items just in the middle of nowhere, and some of those items are definitely magic to some degree. Guidance gives a target +1 to basically any d20 roll and lasts a minute or until discharged. Give your Pokemon a little X accuracy if they're having trouble hitting things. You also get Read Magic since, you can read Unknown, probably. I'll be real, there's not a lot of good cantrips for you. Resistance is a good one though, giving a target +1 to saving throws for 1 minute for a bit of X special defense. First level spells are a bit better, like Lesser Rejuvenate Eidolon, which heals your Eidolon for 1d10 +1 per caster level, for a max of 1d10 +5. Eidolons can be healed by normal cure spells, but you don't get those, and this is a little stronger. Next first level spell will be Summon Monster 1. This lets you summon a monster from the Summon Monster 1 list, which lasts for a number of rounds equal to your caster level. I'm not going to be going over the list because it's too long, but you can find the list online. This will help you bring even more Pokemon onto the battlefield at once. Finally, this level you get a feat, which will make Extra Evolution, to give us 1 additional evolution point to work with. Now to the actual Eidolon. Eidolons get skills, feats, and a number of abilities in addition to combat ability. I won't be going over skills and feats, and that will make this video exponentially longer, but I'll cover the important stuff. First things first, Eidolons get a number of abilities at base, ignoring everything else, starting with Dark Vision, which lets you see 60 feet in the dark. Link lets you and your Eidolon communicate across any distance as a free action, as long as you're on the same plane. It also transfers the ability of any magic items you're wearing to the Eidolon. It doesn't stack with the Eidolon wears, but honestly it doesn't need to. You can wear a belt of giant strength and have it affect 2 creatures at once. That's great. They also get share spells. Whenever you cast a spell with the target of you can instead change that to cast on your Eidolon at touch range. Now for the actual body and ability of the Eidolon. First, we pick a base form, which is exactly what it sounds like. It can be a number of things like serpentine or aquatic, but we'll be choosing biped, which grants the free evolution claws, limbs arms, and limbs legs. Again, you'll find the listed stats and save yourself. Finally, we pick its evolution. Start with the tail evolution, which, unsurprisingly, gives a tail, and a +2 to acrobatics checks to maintain balance. Tail slap lets your Eidolon deal 1d6 bludgeoning damage, which is tail as an attack, for some Iron Tail. I don't think any Pokemon can learn Iron Tail at level 1, but it's fine. Resistance Fire makes Fire-type moves not very effective against the Eidolon by giving it Fire Resist 5. And finally, Basic Magic Light. Lets it cast light once per day, in case you find yourself in a dark cave. At level 2, summoners get Bond Senses. If you and your Pokemon are on the same plane, you can link your senses to it, letting you see, hear, feel, smell, and taste everything your Eidolon does. And it'll last a number of rounds equal to your summoner level. Your Pokemon now has a bit of Psychic going on. You can also get a few more spells at this level. Arcane Mark lets you put your mark on any creature or object, and putting it on creature causes it to fade after a month. We can't technically replicate the Pokeballs can't catch already caught Pokemon effect, but this will help people know the Pokemon is yours. Just remember to renew it. The first level spell, Magic Fang, gives 1 natural weapon, +1 to attack and damage rolls for a minute per level, for a combo X accuracy and X attack rolled up into 1. Back to the Eidolon, it gets evasion at this level, meaning that whenever it makes a reflex saving throw for half damage, a successful throw means it takes no damage. It also gets a +2 armor bonus, which you can make regular armor, natural armor, or split it between both. Defense stats go up as your Pokemon level up. Simple as that. Finally, the Eidolon gets a +1 to strength and dexterity bonus, because again, stats go up. Now for evolutions. Every time you level up, you can completely change around evolution choices. You get another evolution point, which I recommend spending, but I will not be going into such choices, and it makes it easier to know which evolutions I am taking and keeping. Level 3 summoners have Summon Monster upgrade to Summon Monster 2, which functions in all the same way as a spell with a minute per level duration for more stronger Pokemon. Another 2 spells this level, and we'll take Light, because there's no reason not to bring a flashlight when you know you're going into dark caves. We'll also be taking Mage Armor, which gives the subject a +4 armor bonus, for a good X defense spell. Our feat this level is Augment Summoning. All creatures you summon with a summon spell get a +4 to Strength and Constitution. This doesn't apply to the Eidolon, but it may apply to the Summon Monster spell-like ability if your GM is cool with it. Our Eidolon gets another evolution at this level, which will make the ability score increase Charisma, giving a +2 to its Charisma score, since it uses Charisma to cast spells and our spells are special attacks. 4th level summoners get Shield Ally. When you are within reach of your Eidolon, you gain a +2 shield bonus to AC and a +2 circumstance bonus to all saving throws, as long as the Eidolon isn't grappled, helpless, paralyzed, stunned, or unconscious. Your Pokemon needs to be able to move to defend you after all. We also get 2nd level spells now, like Lesser Restoration Eidolon, which is Lesser Restoration for your Eidolon. And Bark Skin gives a creature +2 enhancement bonus to natural armor, which increases every 3 levels beyond 3rd for a maximum of +5. Since this is an increase in natural armor, it stacks with mage armor, so you can really start boosting your Pokemon's defense. Finally, your ability score improvement goes to dexterity. Your Eidolon also has enough evolution points for minor magic Burning Hand, which lets it cast Burning Hands as a spell-like ability once per day. It's no flamethrower, but it's better than Ember. At 5th level, Summon Monster upgrades again, now to a Summon Monster 3 for even more Mons. You also get another 2nd level spell, which will make Blur, giving a subject 20% concealment for a minute. Double Team always sucks to go against, but it's fun when you're using it. Next up is our feat, and we'll take Extra Evolution again for another evolution point, because we cannot get enough of those. Our Eidolon's AC bonus increases to +4 this level, and our Strength and Dexterity also increase to +2. Even more excitingly, we get the next evolution, Flight, which gives the Eidolon a pair of wings and a fly speed equal to its land speed, which at base is 30 feet. Between the dragon wings and the attacks, I think you're starting to figure out what Pokemon this is. Unless the background art already gave it away. I don't know what it looks like as of recording this. Your Eidolon also gets an ability score improvement this level, which we'll also put to our Charisma to boost spell DCs. At 6th level, we're actually going to hop over to Arcanist and take the White Mage archetype, and we'll get into why shortly. Firstly though, we get an arcane reservoir, which can hold a maximum number of reservoir points equal to 3 plus your arcanist level. And every day when you prepare spells, you get 3 plus half your arcanist level in points in the pool. In addition to a number of abilities we'll go over as they become relevant, you can spend 1 reservoir point to increase the spell DC by 1. Next is the ability Consume Spells, which lets you burn a spell slot and convert into a number of reservoir points equal to the spell's level, meaning you can't use this on 0 level spells. Normally, reservoir points would be spent on arcane exploits. However, as we are a white mage, we don't get one this level. We instead get spontaneous healing. You can use a reservoir point to turn any prepared spell into a cure spell of the same level, and cast it that same turn. This increases the amount of potions you have by a lot, which is always good, unless you're doing a no items run, which I hope you're not. Arcanists get a number of spells as well, and I'd go over cantrips that you get if I wanted literally any of them, but I don't, so pick your own, because all the options either overlap with the summoner cantrips or don't fit the build. First level spells do though. Charm Person makes a humanoid think you're their friend. This doesn't let you mind control a person, but they see your words and actions in the most favorable way, and you can make an opposed charisma check to try and order the target to do something it wouldn't normally do. Any attack from you or an ally immediately ends a spell. Is it morally questionable to use this kind of a control on person? Yes, but it says humanoid, and there are several humanoid Pokemon. Just ask the furries. Charm Fey does the same thing as Charm Person, but specifically targets Fey, in case you come across any fairy-type Pokemon. Keep Watch lets all targets stay awake all night without any ill effects, and the target regains all abilities as though they did sleep. Vigorous activity, like combat, ends the spell immediately. Trainers don't sleep. Like, ever. Youngster Jimmy stands guarding the road at all hours of the day. It's weird. Summon Monster 1 does exactly what it did when we got it from Summoner, but now you have another source to cast it from. Finally, Expeditious Retreat increases your land speed by 30 feet. You can use this on your Pokemon to act as X speed, or on yourself to act as running shoes. Second level white mages only get more spells, and we'll start with Arcane Pocket, turning a pocket or pouch effectively into a bag of holding, with a weight limit of 10 pounds per caster level. How else can you fit 600 Pokeballs, 40 potions, a CD case, and every Megastone in your small backpack, if not magic? We'll also take Repair Undead, which is Cure Light Wounds but for undead in the event you find a ghost type in your party. Finally, we get a feat this level, and we'll take Extra Summon, which lets you use your Summon Monster class feature from Summoner an additional time per day. At third level of White Mage, we now get an Arcane Exploit, specifically the Familiar Exploit. This gives you a Familiar, as per the Wizard's Arcane Bond class feature. I don't have a specific Familiar in mind for you to take, so just take whatever you like. It's your Pokemon after all. We also get more spells, like Anthaul, which triples your carry capacity. Because, again, how could you carry all that junk without magic assistance? You're 10. You do get another spell this level, but we run into the same issue of nothing else really fits the build, so just take whatever you want and have fun with it. What does fit the build, however, is our next ability score improvement, which goes to Dexterity, bringing it to 14, making you better at dodging and throwing things. 4th level white mages get 2nd level spells, like Summon Monster 2, which also does exactly what it did when we got it from Summoner. A new spell though is Gird Ally, which gives a number of summon monsters equal to your caster level a +1 deflection bonus to AC, for a max X defense during double battles. We also get another feat, which will be Superior Summoning. Whenever you summon multiple creatures at once, you can add +1 to the total summoned. Our final level of white mage, we get another exploit, Mending Flesh. You can spend a reservoir point as a standard action and touch a creature to heal it of any bleed effects, and give it temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus your charisma modifier, which lasts a number of hours equal to your arcanist level. Not a normal potion, but healing is healing, and overhealing is good healing. We also get another 2 spells. Familiar Figment creates a copy of your familiar in its square, giving any attack against it a 50% chance to fail. Your familiar can also use a swift action to make the figment attempt a touch attack, and if it hits, your familiar retreats the target as flanked until the end of its turn. Bone Fist causes the joints of each target to grow through their skin, giving them a +1 natural armor bonus and a +2 to damage rolls with natural weapons, and they're treated like they have armor spikes, which they are proficient with. Make your Pokemon scary. Hopping back to Summoner now, you get Maker's Call. Once per day, and an additional time every 4 levels from now, you can summon your Eidolon to your side as if it casts Dimension Door. It has the same range though, and if your Eidolon is out of that range, the ability fails and is wasted. It's useful to be able to yell "Return" at your Pokemon and have it come back to your side. We also get another spell, Eagle Splendor, which gives a target a +4 enhancement bonus to Charisma. You can use this on your Pokemon as an X special attack or give it to yourself for the same purpose. Can't be any harm in taking drugs made for Pokemon, right? Our feat this level is Expanded Summon Monster, which adds a lot more creatures to each of the Summon Monster lists. This way you're never without a Pokemon for the occasion. Finally getting back to the Eidolon, it first gets the Devotion ability, giving a +4 morale bonus on will saves against enchantment spells and abilities, in case someone tries to charm the Pokemon to catch it. We also get another evolution, which will make Skilled Fly, giving a +8 on fly checks. At 7th level of Summoner, Summon Monster increases to Summon Monster 4. We also get more spells, like Mount, which summons a light horse or pony, which will serve you for the duration of the spell. No other special effects, but it's always handy to have a Rapidash to ride around on. Next are some 3rd level spells. Rejuvenate Eidolon heals your Eidolon for 3d10 plus caster level for a max of +10. These are your super potions. We'll also grab Haste, which gives a number of fun abilities, like an additional attack during full attack action, a +1 to attack, AC, reflex saves, and a +30 to all movement speeds. This is like X Speed Plus, the weird kind you can only get in black markets that probably isn't legal. What is legal, though, is this level's ability score improvement, which we'll put to Charisma. Our Eidolon levels up as well, with its AC bonus increasing to +6, and its Strength and Dexterity bonus increasing to +3, which together makes up for me not spending any evolution points this level. 8th level Summoners get Transposition, an ability that lets you use Maker's Call to instead trade positions with your Eidolon. Psychic types can teleport and can do so to keep you safe. You also get another spell, which is one of my new favorites, Mad Monkeys. You summon a swarm of monkeys, and creatures that fail their saving throw against the distraction attack are deafened and nauseated for a minute. The monkeys can also try to steal or disarm a creature that's in their square at the start of their turn, using your Charisma bonus for their combat maneuver. And anything they do steal takes swarm damage each round they have it. Release the Ambipoms. Next up is a feat. Combat Advice lets you use a move action to give an ally a +2 competence bonus on their next attack roll against a specific enemy. Ash can yell dodge it and his Pokemon will always dodge. No reason you can't yell hit it and make your Pokemon always hit. No evolutions from me this level either, I'm saving them for something specific. At this level, Summon Monster upgrades to Summon Monster 5, and we get another spell. Restore Eidolon acts as a restoration spell specifically for your Eidolon, material, component cost, and all. Moves that mess with your stats are a problem. Don't let that happen. Our Eidolon actually gets a bonus feat this level, that being multi-attack. Whenever the Eidolon makes a full attack with natural attacks, the attack bonus for secondary attacks is only at -2 instead of the usual -5. Moves like Fury Swipes are fairly common. This makes them slightly better. The Eidolon now also gets the evolution I wanted. Major Magic Scorching Ray, which now lets your Eidolon use Scorching Ray once per day as a spell-like ability. Now we're really making a blaze. 10th level Summoners get Aspect. Whenever you can change your Eidolon's evolutions, Aspect lets you take up to 2 evolution points from your Eidolon and spend them on yourself. This is non-character and it takes away from your Eidolon. I would have avoided this if I could, but we need more from Summoner. Like the spell Phantom Steed, which summons a steed that can only be ridden by you or someone you designate at the time of casting. It has a move speed of 100 feet, can move across difficult terrain caused by mud, sand, or swamp without penalty, it can use Water Walk at will without needing an action, and at 12th level it gains 100-foot fly speed. A number of Pokemon can learn both Fly and Surf, meaning this is your new HM Pokemon. Charm Monster functions the same way Charm Person does, but can affect all creatures for the rest of the Pokemon out there. Purified Calling is a spell you cast when performing the ritual to summon your Eidolon, and doing so completely heals your Eidolon of all damage, ability damage, and conditions. Permanent conditions and ability drain are still there though. That's what Restore Eidolon is for. Other than that, just drop by the Pokemon Center and bring out your Eidolon. We also get another feat this level. Reach spell increases the range increment of any spell to a maximum of long. This is so you can use your touch range spell to short range instead, keeping you safe and your Pokemon healed and buffed. Your Eidolon also gets its next set of buffs this level, bringing its AC bonus to +8 and its strength and dexterity to +4. This again makes up for the lack of evolutions this level. What it doesn't need to make up for though is the next ability score improvement, which we'll put to Constitution, giving a big HP boost, which is always nice. At 11th level, Summon Monster upgrades again to Summon Monster 6. We also get more spells, like the first level spell Endure Elements, which lets you exist comfortably in temperatures down to negative 50 degrees and up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Considering you walk in deserts, tundras, and even a couple of volcanoes in nothing but pants and a t-shirt most of the time, I'd say this is a good choice. We can also grab the spell version of Summon Monster 5 for an additional Pokemon in a pinch. Finally, we get another ability score improvement. Put it to Charisma for a boost to your concentration check, so you can always bring out your Pokemon despite any outside influence. No evolution this level either, or anything that softens the blow of no evolutions. You can pick your own though. 12th level summoners get Greater Shield Ally. The benefits of Shield Ally now affects all allies within your Eidolon's reach. And if you're within its reach, those benefits increase to +4. Your Pokemon can now protect everyone. You get another spell this level as well. Summon Lesser Psychopomp lets you summon either 1d3 Esobox Psychopomps or 1d4 plus 1 Nosoi Psychopomps. Both are true neutral outsiders, and you can find their stats online. Our next feat is the Meta Magic feat Empower spell, which increases variable effects of spells you use on it by 50% for stronger healing and more Pokemon. Your Eidolon gets more bonuses this level, with its AC bonus increasing to +10 and its Strength and Dexterity bonus increasing to +5. Even more excitingly than that, it gets its next evolution. Ultimate Magic Fireball gives its Fireball once per day as a spell-like ability. Blast Burn is one of the strongest fire-type moves out there, and now your Pokemon has learned it. At 13th level of Summoner, Summon Monster upgrades to Summon Monster 7 for near maximum level Pokemon. Displacement is a 3rd level spell that's a stronger version of Blur, giving attackers a 50% miss chance against a target for when you start stacking up Double Team. Greater Rejuvenate Eidolon heals your Eidolon for 5d10 plus your level. You finally unlocked Hyper Potions. Next spell is Release the Hounds. This spell summons a swarm of Winter Wolves. They lose their Breath Weapon, Cold Subtype, and Cold Special Attack, but instead gain the Swarm Subtype, a 3d6 Swarm Attack, and the Distraction ability. Whenever the Swarm deals damage to a target, the Swarm gets a free trip attempt. Do you know Lycan Rocks are supposed to represent wolves? You do now, and now you have a swarm of them at your disposal. No evolutions this level, just take whatever you want. At 14th level of Summoner, you get Life Bond. Whenever you would take damage that reduces you to 0 or less HP, that damage is instead transferred to your Eidolon 1 point at a time until all damage has been transferred, or the Eidolon's HP reaches negative its Constitution score, at which point the rest of the damage goes to you. This is like Shield Other Extreme, where your Pokemon uses stuff to defend you, even to the point of being knocked out, let's say. You also get more spells. Aquatic Cavalry summons a group of Hippocampi, which are basically mermaid horses. They're combat trained, but do their best to avoid combat, and if any of the Hippocampi attack, the spell's duration changes from an hour per level to a round per level, so maybe use this to get around other trainers instead of having to battle them. We'll also grab Summon Vanth, which summons a single Vanth, a powerful Psychopomp, and the kind of Pokemon that makes the enemy trainer nervous. Last feat of the build is Meta Magic Echoing spell. When you cast an Echoing spell, the spell is cast normally, but you're able to cast it a second time without expending a spell slot, making them all last a little longer. Eidolons get improved evasion this level as well. As before, when it succeeds a reflex save for half damage, it takes no damage. But now on a failed save, it only takes half damage still. Final level at Summoner 15, we start with another upgrade to Summon Monster, bringing it to Summon Monster 8 for this highest tier of Pokemon we can summon. Legendaries and Mythicals. We also get another spell, Summon Monster 7, so we don't lose out on other great Pokemon as well. Finally, the last thing for us is an ability score increase, putting it once more to Charisma. Our Eidolon is also getting some good final abilities, like the final bonus to AC, bringing it to a total of +12, and its Strength and Dexterity bonus having a final increase to a total of +6. It also gets its last evolution, being the Fire Breath weapon. A 30-foot cone, or a 60-foot line that deals 12d6 fire damage can be used once per day, and creatures caught in the range can make a reflex save for half. Finally, an ability score improvement, which we'll put to Dexterity. This makes it an odd number, but there's a number of ways to increase a Pokemon's stats. And that's the build. But are we the very best, like no one ever was? Well, let's take a look. Your now fully leveled Charizard has 3 natural attacks, a number of spells, a breath weapon, and it's hard to hit with a flying speed, and an AC of 26. And if Charizard isn't enough for you, you also have countless other Pokemon from so many different sources of summoning, ensuring you'll always have a type advantage. Finally, you're loaded with different ways to buff all your Pokemon, and to keep them all in the fight a little longer. Without Pokemon, though, you don't have much going for you. You can use your buffs on yourself, but that doesn't do much for a lack of martial ability, so a whiteout could be a little more dangerous than that. You also don't have much HP, making lifelink a risky play and life bond something you may need to lean on. But that's no problem. You're a Pokemon trainer. You don't battle alone because you're never alone. You always have a Pokemon to watch your back. You and your team can go anywhere and beat any other trainer. Just make sure to practice when you need to. Let me know what you think of the build down below, and maybe like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more. Or don't. I have no authority over you.